By the end of this video, you will learn exactly how to flip the script when you're up against a tennis player on the pickleball court. If you've ever played one, you already know how it goes. They walk out confident, launch a big serve, fire off blistering drives, and for the first few points, it feels like they're in complete control. You might even find yourself thinking, wow, this is going to be tough. But here's the truth. They only have that advantage if you play into their style. If you know how to redirect the flow of the game, suddenly the pressure is on them, not you. Today, we're going to break down 4 tactics that make the difference between getting overwhelmed by their pace and actually turning the tables in your favor. The first thing tennis players bring with them to pickleball is a heavy serve. It feels natural to them because the motion is basically the same as a tennis forehand. Plus, they're used to starting every point aggressively, so their instinct is to hit big right from the start. Now, if you just stand on the baseline and try to react, you'll feel rushed. The ball comes fast, and before you know it, you're blocked from moving forward. The adjustment is simple. Take one big step back when you're returning. By doing this, you buy yourself more time, and that extra half second is the difference between feeling jammed and being able to neutralize their serve comfortably. Once you've handled the serve, where you send the ball matters. The smartest target is a deep return cross court. Not only does this give you the longest ball flight, it also gives you the most time to move up toward the kitchen line. Remember, your goal isn't to win the point with the return. Your goal is to get settled at the kitchen, ready for the next ball. There's also a team element here. If you're playing doubles, tell your partner to shade a little more toward the middle while you're moving up. That way, you're not trying to cover too much ground while you're still in motion. They're already set at the kitchen line and can handle those middle balls more easily. All you need to focus on is getting forward and establishing position. After you return their serve and start moving up, you can bet the next ball coming your way will be a hard drive. This is where most pickleball players panic. The natural reaction is to swing harder, thinking you need to fight fire with fire. But that's exactly what the tennis player wants. They thrive on pace and want you to play fast. Here's the secret. Don't play their game. Instead of swinging big, plant your legs, stay balanced, and block that ball short and low. By taking the pace off and dropping it into the kitchen, you flip the script. Suddenly, instead of standing tall and ripping another drive, your opponent has to move forward, bend down, and deal with a ball that's below net level. That's not their comfort zone. The beauty of this tactic is twofold. If they pop it up while trying to handle that low ball, you're right there at the kitchen line ready to put it away. If they manage to get it back in play, chances are it won't be aggressive, and you'll still have the advantage. Either way, you've taken away their weapon. Here's a bonus insight. Sometimes those drives are actually sailing long, and you don't need to touch them at all. The way to judge this is by your contact point. If you'd meet the ball at shoulder height or higher, there's a good chance it's going out. Step aside and let it miss. If it's coming in lower, around hip height, then yes, make a play on it. This one adjustment will save you from giving away free points on balls that were already going out. Now, let's talk about third shot strategy, because this is another area where pickleball and tennis really diverge. Tennis players want pace. They're comfortable with balls above the net and love quick hands exchanges. If you drive your third shot over and over, you're feeding them exactly what they want. Instead, focus on using the third shot drop. A well-placed drop neutralizes their power game and forces them to hit from a less comfortable position. The 2 keys here are simple. First, aim for the opponent who just hit the return and is still moving up. This gives you more space to land your shot and often catches them off balance. Second, don't try to be too perfect with your drops. Soft, controlled shots with minimal bounce are more consistent and just as effective as flashy topspin attempts. Your goal isn't to impress anyone, it's to get that ball low and take away their chance to attack. By consistently dropping instead of driving, you're forcing them to play pickleball instead of tennis, and that's where you gain the edge. This next tactic is my personal favorite because it absolutely frustrates tennis players. If you really want to make them uncomfortable, start dinking right into the middle of their body. Tennis players love space. They want the ball out wide where they can take full swings, create angles, and use the pace they're used to. But when you keep the ball short, low, and right in front of their torso, all of those options vanish. They can't take a big cut, they can't generate sharp angles, and they're forced into awkward little flicks. Picture it, you're standing across from them in a dink rally. Instead of pulling them wide, you just keep feeding those dead dinks straight into their middle. They don't have room to create, and eventually they either pop one up or make an error. Sure, if you start playing to the sides of their body, they can roll it cross-court, angle it, or even speed it up down the line. But by keeping it jammed in front of them, you take those options away. This is also a great play in doubles. Aim for the center of the court in the kitchen area rather than to the sidelines. By doing so, you shrink their angles. They can only attack straight through the center lanes, and often those balls end up sitting right where you and your partner are waiting. And here's the kicker. Extended rallies in this position wear them down. Tennis players who rely on pace often don't have the patience for long dink battles. By playing steady, you're essentially daring them to play your game. That frustration almost always leads to mistakes. So let's recap this game plan in action. Step back on the return to neutralize their big serve. Aim deep cross court, and move up while your partner shades the middle. When the drive comes flying back at you, resist the urge to swing big. Instead, block it short and low, making them hit up from an uncomfortable position. On your third shots, skip the drives that play into their strengths. Focus on drops, especially to the opponent still moving forward, and keep them soft and consistent. Finally, once you're in the dink game, jam them by aiming into the middle of their body. Take away their space, remove their angles, and force them to play patiently. With these adjustments, you're no longer reacting to their tennis game, you're dictating the pickleball game. And the more disciplined you are with these tactics, the quicker the match shifts in your favor.